So E3 2019 has come and gone, and I felt like it was time to count down what I think were my favorite press conferences. Rank them from worst to best. I'll be ranking EA's, Microsoft's, Bethesda's, Ubisoft's, Square Enix's, Nintendo's. Yeah, why not throw Google in there too? I know some indie developers like Kinda Funny, Developer Digital, Limited Run Games all had their own press conferences, and I know the PC Game Show also has happened, but I won't be counting them because they're not really like anything significant to me, at least. They're not like that big, so yeah. And I also didn't see them, so yeah. Now before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the notifications bell, and leave a comment, and you'll be a little subscriber.
36.
Very close, but that's not it. Let's go to Gary the Retard. What number between 2 and 4?
Why did EA have a press conference? They announced they weren't having a stage presence this year, but aside from Star Wars, which looks great, but you know, it's EA, there was nothing here to justify them being at E3 at all. Instead of fixing Apex Legends, which is a community complaint that the game doesn't get many updates, they instead decided to add Little Red Riding Hood from that god-awful animated Little Red Riding Hood movie. They talked about Battlefield 5 like people still play that game. They talked about The Sims 4 because it's apparently still being supported. They announced FIFA and Madden 20. Cool. I mean, they have their audience, I'm just not a part of that. And the biggest thing was obviously Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but that was literally it. It does look really good though, but didn't justify an entire press conference.
Okay, Mrs. Puff, what's my final score?
6.
Woo!
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 is my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Close cheating here, but I really don't know who had a worse press conference, Ubisoft or Bethesda. They both were really bad, but on the Bethesda side, they showed these two new awesome looking games called Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo, and Doom Eternal looks goddamn Game of the Year worthy. But they talked an awful lot about mobile games, including a new Commander Keen mobile game. Don't get me wrong, it's great to see Commander Keen back, but we do need a proper game if you want to reintroduce him. Not to mention, the crowd cheered at literally everything. On the other hand, though, you have Ubisoft, who showed Watch Dogs Legion. That looks like it can be Game of the Year worthy next year, and a shocking surprise announcement for a new Rainbow Six game. But they talked a lot about DLC rather than new games. Like, they talked a lot about this For Honor DLC, like people still play that game? I didn't even know people play that game. Not only that, they also talked a lot about TV shows and movies at a video game event. Oh yeah, and you play pluses. They didn't focus too much on mobile games, but they announced one that probably hurt the most. R.I.P. Splinter Cell, am I right?
7, 5. Number 4.
I wasn't sure if I should have even included Google as they sort of got ahead of E3, but it's still a press conference and is still considered E3 nonetheless. Now, I think Google Stadia is gonna flop. I really do, but this event never actually had me bored. I was actually always entertained because I wanted to know more about this thing. And what we got was kind of dumb. Why are there different tiers of the subscription? Games come at an extra charge. Like, come on, really? And the Stadia doesn't even launch with any exclusives. They shockingly announced Baldur's Gate 3 at this event, but it's only coming to the PC. Rather, it's also coming, my bad. The Stadia event also wasn't offensive or anything. It just makes Stadia look like an absolute joke. I've heard mixed thoughts on Microsoft's press conference, but I thought it was really good. It was a bit weird though, I'm not gonna lie. They did not show gameplay for that many things. However, they did announce Project Scarlet, which is their next console, and they announced the launch title, Halo Infinite. Well, it was already announced, but you know what I mean. Halo Infinite looks really good, and man, I'm excited. Gears 5 was, the release date was announced to be in September 2019. They still showed no gameplay. It was playable on the show floor, yeah, but I don't know why they didn't show any gameplay during the press conference itself. The best part of this press conference, in my opinion, though, was Cyberpunk 2077 and its 2020 release date. Not only that, but Keanu Reeves is in it.
Be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
They had this new Crossfire game, which looks pretty cool. They showed a new trailer for The Outer Wilds and Elden Ring, which is the George R.R. Martin game. Pretty cool stuff in this one.
What kind of pencil do we take again?
Number 2. Take a number 2.
Looks like you took a big number.
I have 4 words for you. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I have another 3 words for you. Marvel's The Avengers. I have another 4 words for you. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. In fact, this was... Where did this come from, Square? Last year, they revealed nothing new except for, The Quiet Man. We all know how that was. And then they came out banging this year. You should genuinely watch this one. They talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I never thought was going to come out at this point. But now we know a release date. There's the Avengers game. There's Final Fantasy VIII is actually being remastered, even though they lost the source code for that game. They stealth dropped The Last Remnant remastered on the Switch. A lot of cool stuff was in Square's press conference.
I'm Luigi, number 1.
I think we can all agree that Nintendo absolutely murdered E3. If this was a Nintendo Direct, then this is by far the best one they've ever done. I can't even call this a Nintendo Direct, though. I have to call this an E3 press conference. I don't know. Let's just go down the list of crazy stuff they had. No More Heroes 3. They got Animal Crossing New Horizons looks great. So does Luigi's Mansion and, Astral Chains. The Secret of Mana collection coming to the US. Finally, a new Contra game. The Witcher 3 coming to Switch. That entire sizzle reel they played. Mario and Sonic. When I sort of accidentally called Resident Evil 5 and 6 coming to Switch right at the last second. Still can't believe that happened. Oh yeah, and how about Breath of the Wild 2? And Banjo-Kazooie and Hero, by the way, in Smash? I think I can just end the video here. In fact, that's what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. Do you agree with my list? Give me your list. And if you want to include the PC Gaming Show, if you want to include Limited Run, Developer Digital, Kinda Funny, you can. And if you don't want to include Google, that's fine. They didn't really have a press conference. I want to hear your thoughts, though. So, bye-bye.